Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel focused on piano playing. My name is Niemczuk. I'm a concert pianist based in Poland. I was a piano professor at the University of Silesia in the south of Poland, and I'm a passionate problem solver, if I may say so, and a passionate of finding very efficient ways of practicing all kinds of piano repertoire. Some of those I'm sharing with you here on my channel, and as you probably know, this is a part of the whole series of professional tutorials about Chopin Preludes. Not to waste time, we start today. We focus on number 10. Number 10, which is one of the shortest of all, but yet I would say one of the most difficult ones, because it must be extremely light, fast and brilliant, yet all this fast playing of the right hand is in piano pianissimo. So just like in Berceuse, if you know the piece, I made analysis of Berceuse as well, and I said that this is a very difficult piece to play because there's a lot of very fast passages played very light at piano, which is much more difficult than to play them forte. I have recorded all the preludes, maybe depending on when you watch this video, maybe it's already on Spotify and all the other platforms. Maybe you even have my CD. I also made not tutorials but analysis of all the preludes, so you can find it on YouTube. You just write my name, Prelude number 10 analysis. You will find it in English. So today I focus exclusively on technical problems. So, of course, how to approach this prelude? Of course, the first what we have to do, we have to, in my opinion, memorize it, which is not very difficult. My suggestion to approach this prelude: immediately memorize the right hand. Let's say the first 2 bars, because this is this, right? And that's it. It is repeated, because this, then we have this pattern, stop, then this, then the same, then the same, and then the same. So in fact, we only have to memorize 2 patterns. Well, the first one is slightly different because it has a G sharp instead of F sharp but that's not a very big problem. Now, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 same patterns, and we have accents on the first note. That means that those notes are the most important. That's what Chopin wants. So just start with this. Then practice it so that you can play it in the final tempo that you want to play. Let's say if you want to play pam pam, then pam 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 pam. This you have to practice immediately from the very beginning to stimulate your brain to think that fast. Okay, about the beginning we talk a little later, but let's just focus on this. One more time. One more time. And so on and so on. I would repeat it many times if I were you. Then we can add the left hand to this. Left hand has only two chords, which are also very easy to memorize. So instead of staring at notes and playing this many times in a slow tempo, which is really a pure waste of time, just memorize it and then play. Just leave the beginning, just play like this. If you have problem with the left hand, of course, because it's quite wide, I recommend to use the wrist, of course, the movement of the wrist start here and rotate your wrist. Just like in this etude, we are doing this with the right hand here. So if you can't play it, first focus on the left hand alone, and then when you can, add the right hand first in a slow tempo, only first notes. One more time. One more time. And so on. Many times, you know, and go faster and faster and faster to the final tempo that you want. Then you have the skeleton of this. Now we have to practice the details, which means the whole patterns. And now I strongly recommend to focus only on one pattern at a time and master this pattern. We have 1, 2, 3, 5 notes, right? And 3 of them are a little faster than the following 2. So faster, slower, faster, slower, faster, slower. If you cannot do this, start from only and repeat it already in the final tempo, as if you can. Then you can add the next 2. Stop. And that's your first pattern. Then the second pattern is the same, but of course we have different notes, but the technique is the same. Stop. So I recommend to repeat this literally 100 times. And then the second also 100 times. And then this is also almost the same than the previous one. So you don't need to maybe repeat it so many times, you will see. Then when you can play each pattern, you should put them together with a little break. So stop, stop, sorry, stop, 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 stop. You can do it also with the left hand. Sorry. And also repeat, focus on this, spend as much time as you need to feel secure. It can even be a few days, don't worry about it. It's much better to practice small part for a longer time than to play the whole prelude for a shorter time. Then you can slowly, gradually make this holes in between, the space in between, shorter and shorter. Another thing is to connect two patterns with one another. For that we need to add the first note of the next pattern. So like that. Stop. Stop. And relax the hand. And repeat many times. And repeat. Then the second with the third. And repeat many times, right? Then you can do it also with the right hand. And this I recommend to do with every single part. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some of them are very similar, some of them are a little different. But the problem is the same. Then the beginning. The beginning is tricky, of course. To start this prelude is very hard. It reminds me of the etude. You know, you just have to start the thirds fast, immediately, playing very light. That's something like this. Right? The same. So, but anyway, how to do it? So, this is the trill. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes of the trill. So, first practice only this. Then practice the next note. Right? And then practice the next note, but without the top, without the C sharp, just the G sharp. And then when you can play this, just add the fifth finger. Now, another question which you may wonder, how to play it leggero, how to make it leggero. For this we need to practice it in a slow tempo first. To master the leggero touch. Leggero touch is the touch I say on the surface of the keyboard, not fully deeply, on the surface. Start with slow tempo and just touch on the surface, halfway. Nothing more than that, right? Then with the left hand. And then gradually speed up the tempo, without changing the touch. Always on the surface. About the pedal. Chopin wrote pedal here, which we can do. It's a pedal here, here. We can do it, but this prelude also sounds very well without any pedal. Depending on the tempo. The faster you play, the less pedal I recommend. And then another very important thing. There is another, as you know, motif, which is this one. And this motif must not be played in the same tempo than this, because then it will be too fast. So what I recommend is to have two different tempi here in this prelude. This is the first one. This is the second one. Again. And again this. And again faster. And so on. So don't worry, that's it's a very obvious thing in Chopin's music, because very often the tempo depends on the structure, on how many notes we have, what kind of character we have. And Chopin is not a Beethoven to keep one tempo from the beginning to the end. So we have to ask ourselves a question, what sounds best? And for this question I will just answer you now. If you struggle with the good articulation, I recommend to practice this with kind of scratching technique, as if you scratch. Scratching, right? And focus on this, and I think that's all. With all those advices, I hope, and I'm pretty sure, you will play it better. Enjoy your learning this, and good luck. Thank you.